We're getting to a point where we get used to hearing something stupid from number 47. And that's the whole plan. While we're focused on his ignorance and what the Republicans let him do, we need to be voting the Republicans out. You have to vote. Because here's the thing, changing the vaccination. That man knows nothing about vaccination. You see what he's trying to do to Dr. Fauci. Although they know that they controlled everything the man said. When he didn't go along with the script, they got mad. The Republicans wanted everybody back to work because guess what? Their money is tied up in those businesses. The construction around, especially in Texas, I can't speak for other states, but in Texas, all those buildings. So when Americans were able to work from home, when we were not going out as much and COVID, that cost them money. And for the first time, the United States government had to take care of its people. Now, here's the caveat. Now they're changing. We keep talking about what they're putting in the food. They probably tried forever to put things in the food. The difference was the CDC wasn't dismantled until we got under number 47. Project 2025 did not just include black people. It was for everybody. It was for America, to throw America into chaos. When America's in chaos, you see he's already trying to ignore midterm elections for a war that he started that he could not finish. He already knew that. The Republicans knew it. It is all a game. There are some Republicans that are going to retire. They're not going for another term, but they're keeping their secrets and they're keeping their mouth closed. Although they know their silence and their promotion of him has sentenced us to death in a way, in a slow death. America is dying. With the CDC dismantled, the foods are killing us. Then they're talking about manufacturing things. So now all of the food that we buy is controlled by people who probably don't like us. We're still very segregated. Every once in a while, a few of us are in different neighborhoods, but think about it. We're not even safe in those neighborhoods. Look at Nolan Wells. He was in a nice neighborhood. He grew up in a certain way, and yet he still was unprotected. That's how it is. Because if we don't hurt each other, and as black people or segregated people, whether it's Asians, Hispanic, then you get in a white neighborhood, and they most definitely are ready to take care of you there. So now the food is being controlled. Then Donald Trump's friends are everywhere. CBS was bought by somebody who was under dealing with him. Twitter was bought. So you got social media, you got TV. Now the Lakers. Although this guy says he's not a supporter, I don't believe anything that he says. This man is strategically putting himself in every area of life. So if y'all think that that fool is going to leave up out of office easily in 2028, that would be a big mistake, much like it was for those of you that voted for him. I know people are saying that he stole the election, but because I see so many people coming out, like the black chef who is losing his restaurant, kudos and bravo. I'm glad. I hope you lose everything, and I hope you don't gain it back because you're ignorant. I saw him going toe to toe, talking about and speaking up for Republicans and what they've done for black people. You guys cannot be that stupid. Between Charlamagne the God, Nick Cannon, Snoop Dogg, Ice Cube, Nelly, all you 52 quarters, that all you ignorant people. No, first of all, the America has done nothing for black people. Let's start right there. Everything that black people got, they got because they fought. The civil rights movement was signed by President Lyndon B. Johnson because of people like Martin Luther King, Andrew Young, Jesse Jackson, and many others that were intelligent enough to put it together and to make sure that he understood how valuable we were, and literally gave him no choice. And even then, it wasn't signed. It was not signed because it was right. It was signed because Martin Luther King was intelligent enough to go in there and to get what we needed at that time. He didn't even get it signed because of what he said and because signatures. He got it signed because of his humanity. At the time, Lyndon Johnson was under great scrutiny and going through a lot with Vietnam War. And Dr. King put on his humanity hat. Although this man seemed to not be for his people, he still did not let that stop him from being who he was. And President Johnson didn't forget that. And so, likewise, the way most politics is done, you scratch my back, I scratch yours. And that's how civil rights movement was signed. Now, it did not, I do not want to make light of the marches, the bus boycott. Our ancestors was willing to make sacrifices. Too many of us don't want to make a sacrifice to keep on talking about it. There are some people now already like, well, at some point we got to move on. We're not at that point, and no, we don't. And there's no such thing as moving on when injustice is continuing. Mississippi has a very dark past, and right now the present is not looking too good. There are way too many people of color who have been killed by hangings, and there's no answers and nobody is talking. You know why? Because they have them afraid. They have them on lock. They control the money. They control their freedom, livelihood, you name it. So guess what? We've got to keep talking. You may think, oh, that's in Mississippi, but it is everywhere. Texas, Arkansas, all the southern states, and even abroad. This is a national health crisis. Civil rights is a national health crisis. Racism is a national health crisis, because literally we cannot be trust police or anybody to stop us and to treat us with humanity. We cannot trust them to do their jobs because of the hate. And even when people see it on the video, they will lie and come up with an excuse to justify the bad behavior. When people were justifying that man hitting the 18-year-old in the face, I don't care what she did. She was a young female. If a big, brawly man cannot subdue a young female without punching her and mistreating her, he needs to be fired himself. I don't have anything for any men. The men that jump on and say things to me, you're not a man if you are so punkish that you would talk rude to a woman. That is not male behavior. That is not protective behavior. That is the behavior of a fool. And a fool is not a man. A man can have foolish ways, but a man is not a fool. So that's not manly behavior. That is ignorant behavior. And white supremacists are so afraid of not being in charge that they are going all the way back. And so we have to be ahead in our thinking in every shape, form, and fashion, because running from behind is not going to yield the results that we want. All I'm telling you is that we cannot overlook what this man is doing. The things that you see number 47 doing, he is fueled and sponsored by people. Watch. There's a setup going on, and that's why you must vote. We must vote out the Republicans who are sitting by, because they're profiting. And yeah, it's going to come to bite them in the butt. But at what expense? At whose expense? It's time for us to stand up for us. And that means that you have to vote, and you got to spread it, and you got to discuss it. You got to talk about the uncomfortable. You have to sit in the uncomfortable, because right now, America doesn't look like the America that we've been trying to build. It's been your girl, Candy with Kim. Because if it needs to be said, you know I'll say it.